If you were to write down what were the 4 most important words ever spoken about sex, you don't have to raise your hand and venture an answer. This is a rhetorical question meant to stimulate your thought. What would you write down? If you had to write down 4 words that are the 4 most important words ever written about sex, what would you write? I want to propose to you that the 4 most important words ever written about sex, that could ever be written about sex, that will ever be written about sex, are the first 4 words of the Bible. In the beginning, God. Because whatever the issue is in human life, whatever you have to look at, whatever you have to think about, you have to start with the most important reality, the most important fact, the most stunning, radical thing that a human being could ever consider. It's this, that at the center of whatever is not me. At the center of reality is not my consciousness. At the center of reality are not my desires and my needs. At the center of reality is not my body drives. At the center of reality is not my plan and my mentality and my personality and my emotionality and my possessions and my friends and my family. At the center of reality is something grand and glorious and different than me. There actually is something ultimate in the center of all that is. And if you don't recognize that there's something ultimate in the center of everything that is, you're already in trouble before you know it. God is the ultimate fact of facts that gives meaning and understanding and purpose to any other fact you could ever consider. You cannot look at anything in life and understand it properly unless you look at it first from the existence and the character and the plan of God. God is the ultimate explainer, definer of everything that is. The great thinker John Calvin said these incredible words: "There is no knowing that doesn't begin with knowing God." That's why Ecclesiastes says it's only vanity under the sun. That's sort of like what he's saying is, if you take scissors and you cut off the universe at its horizon and there's nothing that exists above that, you can't make sense out of everything. Everything explodes into chaos. I don't have a reason for doing anything. It doesn't make any sense anymore. And so you really have to start with that basic, fundamental thing that everything I do, everything I say, everything I would ever desire, everything I participate in, even in the most intimate, private moments of my life, is connected to God, whether I realize it or not. It's impossible for anything in my life not to be connected to God. And when you begin to realize that, it just revolutionizes the way you think about everything in your life.